Hello and welcome back to Man v Film. Today we're going to be covering spine number 123 in the Radiance range, which is Luchino Visconti's Senso. Now this is my cinematic kryptonite, a love story period drama. It's one of those subgenres that doesn't really grab me, doesn't speak to me as a film fan, but it's something I continue to push myself through, hoping to discover some wonderful versions of this kind of subgenre. Now, this is set against the backdrop of Austrian occupied Venice in 1866, and this melodrama follows Countess Livia, an aristocratic woman who becomes infatuated with Franz, a vain and opportunistic Austrian officer. Their affair unfolds in the war-torn country. Love and war as betrayal and obsession, political struggle in between the nations, and the kind of devastating consequences of their love affair.
But simply hot-headed young men who don't stop to think of the consequence of their behavior.
It's not a movie that's going to be happy ending. It feels right from the start, when it opens up on the streets of Venice, it looks amazing. The colour really pops. It has that Technicolor feel to it. The sets are fantastic and practical and real. The costuming is lavish and it just looks wonderful. But it's all about the substance, and it's something that for me never really quite lasted. This kind of mirrors the structure of an opera, heightened emotions and doomed romance, inevitable tragedy. It's all kind of there. It uses the politics as a backdrop. The Italian struggle of independence is ever present throughout it, but the focus stays on the personal downfalls of Livia as she struggles to cope with this affair.
Giving up all pride, all decency. Yes, all decency given up. Nothing left but the contemptible craving. I
like the characters. It does feel rushed how quickly this infatuation takes hold of Livia. It feels really quickly. Someone who is married, who has prestige and a position of power. Her husband is someone well renowned, but she doesn't really hide this affair. She's almost flaunting it at points, using servants to cover up the information, to hide details from her husband. Her moral corruption is complete in this one, and it is hard to really warm to a character who's so self-destructive and self-motivated that really destroys her own kind of life with this obsession. And it's something that's really hard to warm to, especially when the object of that obsession is Franz, a character who just makes you feel as if there's something really untrustworthy about him.
I told you he bribed the doctor. Gave him a sum of money. I have an idea these things happen often.
There is a strange unknowing about this character. He feels as if he's playing a game. This is a distraction during a hard time, and a very welcome distraction. But it never really feels like anything more than that. And he begins to play little games, keeping his distance for a little while, causing her obsession just to grow. It's two not very nice people coming together and making each other worse. The film does have standout set pieces though. It opens up with an opera where you get the end of the opera, and then you get a kind of political statement being made as well. It's a kind of inciting incident to the film as well, and it's a really wonderfully put together set piece. And I thought I was going to get a more impassioned version of this story about the Italians looking for independence. Never quite gets there, but that opening sequence is absolutely brilliant. The gilded halls and the wonderfully lavish buildings at time are juxtaposed really well with the muddy fields of the war-torn country, or the kind of run-down buildings where they're having this illicit fare. It's rich and poverty kind of mixed together, and you can see how vastly different their world is.
And see me as I really am, not as a figure of your imagination. The idea you have of me is pure fantasy.
There's one thing I can say about the film, and it's beautiful. It looks stunning. Like I said, the colour pops, the sets are fantastic, the costuming is great. For me, the story just didn't land, but that's me. I struggle to deal with these kind of movies where it's all horrible characters and it's just a visual feast. There's no substance to back up for me. Still, I'm glad to have saw it. I may even go back and check it out again. It was, interesting enough. Maybe I would be more attuned to understanding the story that is to come. For now, let's dive into the disc and have a look at the extras. Here we are in the disc for Senso. Let's go to the special features. First up we have Matteo Aguello. Fashion historian and expert Matteo Aguello explores Visconti's painstakingly attention to detail and his historical accuracy in set and costume design, and how the director would incorporate influences from other areas of high culture, such as opera and fine art, into Senso's sumptuous aesthetic, created exclusively for Radiance in April 2025, and this runs for 18 minutes 59 seconds. It's never someone I've encountered before on a disc, but his wealth of knowledge and passion really comes along. Next we have Luchino Visconti and Maria Callas. In this archival programme from the series L'Invent do Dimanche, Luchino Visconti is in conversation with the legendary soprano Maria Callas, discussing Senso, his love of opera, and his numerous collaborations with the renowned singer. Originally broadcast on French television in April '69, and this runs for 23 minutes 50 seconds. Another great conversation. I love these historical interviews that Radiance are putting on their discs, giving the directors their own voice, allowing them to hear their passions and what they're discussing and what really struck with them. Next we have Luchino Visconti. In this documentary, directed by Carlo Liziani, actors and collaborators of Visconti discuss their experiences working with the filmmaker, including contributions from Alida Valli, Claudia Cardinale, Burt Lancaster and Francesco Rosi. Originally filmed for Italian television in 1999 and runs for just a little over 1 hour. Wonderful addition to the disc. Again, you get lots of familiar, famous, talented people who are really talking about this wonderful director, and they really show that kind of passion they have for this man and the films that he created. Wonderful. Also included in this set is a 28-page booklet where we have Between Life and Theatre, Luchino Visconti's Senso by Christina Newland, and Tennessee Williams' collaborative dialogue and The Wanton Countess by Paul Martinovio. And that's the extras for Senso. There we have it. Senso, a film that's a kind of contradiction. A visual feast populated by horrible characters. The melodrama doesn't really become compelling on a narrative level, which is a real shame. But if you want something that just looks amazing, then look no further. I would love to know your thoughts on Senso. Do you have a different interpretation? Do you love it more than me? Do you hate it more than me? Do you find it just average within Visconti's filmography? Let me know in the comment box below and let me know your thoughts on this film. As always, there is more content up here. You can see more of my stuff. In the description box below are links to Patreon, membership program and manvfilm.com. Always in which you can support. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.